Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srishti. Thank you, Smriti, for wonderful dance.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna to everyone.
Hare Krishna.
How are you all?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
All good, ma'am.
Very nice to hear that. All good.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Swaminiti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayani Gaura Katha Dhamdaya Nagara Grama Tarini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om. So Hare Krishna, we are reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. As we discussed that chapter 2 is the one of the longest chapters, second longest chapter. Chapter 18 is the longest. It has 72 verses. And chapter 2 describes about the summary of Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma, Nishkam Karma, Bhakti Yoga, everything into it. So I will have a quick review of what we did in the previous class, because this section is a very, very important section of this chapter. Everything is important in Bhagavad Gita and everything what discussed is important here. So here, if you remember, Krishna was asking Arjuna to leave Sakam Karma and don't be attached to the flowery words of the Veda. Try to fix your mind upon me. And he says, a sober person, a dhir person, is not disturbed by anything. Then Arjuna asked, what is the quality of the dhir sthiti prajna? So this, and he started to, he was wondering whether a person like this exists somewhere who has complete control on the senses. He's not disturbed by any duality, and he does not hate anyone. He does not become very, he does not have over love, over affection, over hate, or he's not disturbed, basically. How does he sit? How does he talk? So if I meet somebody, I can identify, oh, this is a sthita prajna. So he asked me a question about a person who has this quality. So in that, we saw that he asked, what are the general symptoms? How does he speak on receiving blame, affection, or hate? What will he say externally or internally? Sometimes we don't say externally, but we say internally things. How does he sit? Means how does he restrain the senses? If any adverse situation comes, how he helps to control himself to restrain the senses from the sense object, because we are living in the material world surrounded by various sense objects. So at time, our all senses are exposed to different objects. So add anything which is not favorable for us, how does he control? Then he says, how does he walk? Means how does he respond to those sense objects? So these are the questions Arjuna asked, 4 or 5 questions, and Krishna started giving the answer. And then first thing he says in the text 55, he says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamato Manovat Atmane Eva Atmana Tushta. So this Atmani Eva Atmana Tushta, he is self-satisfied. The quality of the Sthita Prajna is he gives up Prajahati Yad Kaman. Kaman means different desires. Sarvan Parth Manovatan. Where that desire comes, the origin of the desire is the mind. It all comes from the mind, different type of desire, because mind wants to enjoy and he uses the senses. So whatever the desire comes from the mind, this person is not affected by that. He controls. Prajahati means he controls. And then he's not disturbed by those desires. He gives up those desires, which comes from the mind, and different kind of sense enjoyment. So there are 2 ways to be happy. We try to be happy by satisfying the desire. My mind wants, I want to go there. My mind wants, I want to eat this. My mind wants, I want to hear that. So our happiness is dependent on the mind's instructions, and we try to fulfill with our different senses. But the person who is self-controlled, sthita prajna, he is not trying to enjoy through the senses. So how does he become happy? He also has to become happy. Everybody has to become happy. Atmani eva atmana tushta. Self-controlled. So he is satisfaction. He has a satisfaction in self alone. So he finds satisfaction here. He sees that he finds satisfaction in the self alone. And then he is to be pure transcendental consciousness. The first symptom that how does he behave? It is this. The first thing is he controls, tries to gives up the desire for the sense enjoyment, and rather he enjoys within himself. So if we develop the practice, the yoga means that. Yoga means uniting to the Supreme and being connected to the Supreme and enjoy within ourselves. So this is a person, this is a classic example of a self-realized person. His happiness is not dependent on the object, rather his happiness is dependent on the self within. He wants to enjoy within himself. He's happy. So with the mind withdraw from the senses, he's satisfied by the soul whose very nature is bliss. So this is the thing. Then the second question was, how does he speak on receiving the blame affection? So this was the second question. So now second question is, dukheshu anudugmana sukheshu vigatastraha vitaraga bhaya krodhas tata dher muniruchyate. Say dukheshu anudvigna mana. So dukheshu means whether it comes to dukh or sukha. He is anudvigna mana. He is not affected by, without being agitated. Mind is not agitated by any of these things, whether he is having happiness in the life or having distress. Vitaraga bhaya krodha. He is not affected by, he is not having any kind of attachment, detachment, fear, anger. He's not affected. He's free from all these things. Even, see, we are living in the material world. These things will be repeatedly coming in our life. Sometimes some happy moment will be there. Sometimes some sad moment will be there. We have a different variety of fear. We get anger. But the Sthita Prajna person, even though he is living within all these things, but he's not affected. He doesn't respond. He is not disturbed by these things. So even though he is living in that, so then the next quality is he's not disturbed by any of these things. Whether the situation is favorable or situation is unfavorable. How does he become, now practically we'll understand, how does he become detached with all these things? Because he knows everything is temporary. People are giving me praise for temporary, for some reason, and then tomorrow they may blaspheme me and they will go against me also. It's temporary. Everything is controlled by the Supreme Lord, and if the Supreme Lord wants to give me something, it means it is for my good. Even the distress is for my good. So he has a higher understanding. He does not get disturbed. Oh my God, why I'm having this problem in the life? Oh my God, why I only have this problem in the life? Why this disturbance is coming in my life? And we become disturbed. He knows that everything is controlled by the Supreme Lord. So everything, whatever is happening in my life has a purpose for it. So I have to, and it is all temporary. So in all the situation, I have to increase my bhakti, I have to increase my attachment to the Supreme Lord and not be detached. So when we practice this, then only we will not be affected. Otherwise, we will be affected every time. That's the reason Krishna gives a lot of emphasis on detachment, detachment, detachment. Because attachment is a block in our success in material life and spiritual life both. If overly attached, Dhritarashtra was what? Overly attached to the son. So much so that he lost all of them because of the attachment. He wanted that no, Duryodhana should become king, Duryodhana should, and he did everything. He did not even mind that why. He knew that all the Pandavas are more stronger. If there is a war, he is going to lose. You remember when we saw the first chapter, we know that Dhritarashtra knew if the war is going to happen, my children are not going to win. He was not intelligent enough that, okay, they are asking for little, 5 gaon or little bit, half, at least half. My son can become king at least for the half of the kingdom. No, I want full, I want full, I want full. Let it be war. And ultimately he lost everything. So over-attachment is a cause of destruction from any time. So we have to be, if we are over-attached, we cannot work properly. We cannot think properly. It is said that Gandhari was blind from eyes and Dhritarashtra was also, Dhritarashtra was blind from eyes and mind both. He could not see, he could not understand anything. So blinded by the attachment. So over-attachment is always a problem. So he says he is free from a person. He's not disturbed by it. And then he says that how he responds is duality, unaffected by. Yes, sarvatra nibhishesha tat prapya shubha shubham. Nabhinandati na dveshtati tasya pragya pratishtita. नाभिनंदती, कोई अभिनंदन करता है, अभिनंदन मतलब उसको स्वागत करता है, उसको बहुत प्रेज करता है, or either people hate him, he does not mind. Okay, whatever, whether you praise me or you don't praise me, I am okay. He is not affected by good or bad. We are so much affected by good or bad. People go run around here and there, just become everything should be auspicious and good in my life. If little bit bad happens, we run around from pillar to post to each and every Swami and Sannyasi and any astrologer or anybody. Maybe he can make things all right. Maybe he can make things all right, because there is no acceptance. And at the process of those things, we get cheated also. Maybe he can make all right. So because there is no acceptance of any situation, because there is no dependent on Krishna. Of course, we should try to make things all right as much as possible by our thing, and we should take advice from the guru. We should take advice from the, not guru means we are talking about the guru outside. Guru means who has a knowledge, who will give me, okay, in this situation, how do you behave? but not we should go run and lose all what we have. So Sthita Prajna is not disturbed. Then how does he control his senses? Adverse situation comes, how he will control his senses? The third question comes. Then he says, he gives the example like tortoise. As the tortoise naturally restrain the sense, his body limbs. Kurmagniva sarvasha. Yada samharate chaham. So when there is any distress comes on a, naturally he withdraws himself and he protect himself because nobody knows that there is a now any animal there and he protect himself. So naturally he withdraws. So a sthita pragya person naturally withdraws his senses from the unfavorable situation. If anything unfavorable there, he will not participate in that. Naturally, he will not be attracted by that. So how naturally happens? We have to force, but some people can naturally do it. So what is special in those people that they can do naturally and we cannot do naturally? If somebody comes and talks to us for somebody, we are very interested in hearing, oh, what happened? A self-realized person is not interested in any ninda, any praise. He is very detached. But we are very attracted by all the sense object. Why? And we force ourselves to correct. So here the very nice shloka is this: Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya devana rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Mind has he restricts from sense enjoy because he has given the higher taste. So there is no desire into it. Initially, we have the desire, and Prabhupada gives the example like a sick person. He's restricted to eat the sweet. So he's not eating sweet at that time because he's sick, but the desire to eat sweet is there. As soon as he's okay, he will again go and eat sweet. So that desire is still there. But the sthita prajna person, he purifies the desire. There's no more desire only. Like generally what happens, a lot of people become vegetarian in the month of Shravan or some other month or some days in the a week. Okay, Monday I am vegetarian or Tuesday I am vegetarian. But the next day only we want to eat. Because desire is there. One day I'm trying to restrain myself. Okay, today I will restrain. At least one day I will restrain. Good, at least one day we are doing some austerity. But the desire is still there. But once we start eating Krishna Prasad, there's no desire only to eat unnecessarily thing. Even though it is in front, I don't want to eat all this because desire is purified. How? By giving the higher taste. So we think that the desire is only to eat. It is not that. Desire is to hear ahara. Ahar. Like when we are hungry, we should get some ahar. Ahar means some food. So when we eat something, it satisfies the desire of the palate. So there are different ahara for different senses. Some ahara is for the ear, some ahara is for the eyes, some ahara is for the nose, some ahara is for the genitals. Different ahara is there. So every time our senses need hungry, they are hungry, they need some kind of ahara. So if we give them regular ahara, they become more and more like passionate. If you give them sattvic ahara at that time, they get subdued automatically. Automatically they get subdued. As tongue can be controlled by eating Krishna Prasad, ears can be controlled by hearing about Krishna, eyes can be controlled by seeing about Krishna, and all our body part can be controlled if we put ahara which is purified. What is that we hear? Gigo principle, gigo. What goes in comes out. Right? So whatever goes through our different senses only will come out. If sattvic things goes through our senses, naturally all these senses will be controlled. If we are taking whatever is there, all kind of garbage we are putting in through all our senses, whatever comes out also will be very, very like what to call it won't be good. So this is how a self-realized person control himself. Vishaya vinivartante nirahar. Nirahar karta hai. Usko nirahar kar deta hai. Nirahar means doesn't give the food or give the food which is favorable for him. There are two ways. I don't give the food. Sometimes the people are controlling the mind. So they go and live in the place. No, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to talk to people. I don't know. Sometimes I want to control my senses. For some days I go in some ashram and try to be meditating. And those days we are very, like, you go any ashram, they will give you very sattvic food. Lifestyle will be very, very sattvic. They will ask you to sleep at 9 o'clock, no mobile phone, get up at 4 o'clock, do some meditation. Because if you sit at meditation at 4 o'clock, only probably you can meditate for 5-10 minutes. If you're meditating at 10 o'clock in the day or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, passion is so much around, we cannot do all this. So first thing is to controlling all our activity, regulating actually, not controlling, regulating is the right word. We have to regulate it, not control it, regulate it by giving the, so that is what the self-realized person does. And then, then he says, Krishna, even though you are trying to control Arjun senses, the senses are so strong that they forcibly take away the mind. Even the person who is trying to control them. I'm trying to control. Even we are all trying to chant the japa. And every time when we chant the japa, we try to bring the mind. That is what is the technique has been given to us. When you're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What technique, Prabhupada? Just say the syllable and hear. Just try to repeat and hear. But hearing also is not focus. First Hare will hear and next Hare where mind will go somewhere else. Then again bring it back to the next. How it happen? We start Hare Krishna, heard. Then Hare Krishna, next mind. Then Krishna, bring it back. Then Hare Hare, then again the mind. Then Hare Rama, Hare. So this is a struggle between bringing the mind back to the transcendental vibration. So he says it is senses are so strong. It is very difficult to control. Even for the person who is trying to, the one person who knows. There are people who are not able, not knowing that they should control the senses. They are the Godasa. They are the servant of the self. Sometimes they say, I am the master of my sense. I like what I do what I like. It is not that. The person who says, I do what I like, it means you don't do what you like. You do what your senses forces you to do. So you are the servant of your senses. Your senses tells you to do this, you do that. Your senses tells us to do this, we do this. So we are not the master actually. We are the servant of our senses. So even though the person who is trying to know, he knows that I have to do it. Even for them also, it is not that easy. It is control. So Krishna indicates here that even a jnani who discriminates between the matter and spirit will be distracted by the senses. So we should. So then Krishna said, what we should do then? Even though I know that I'm trying to do it, I know that I need to do, I know that my senses are very aggressive and I don't know that I have to subdue them. And I'm trying also, I'm chanting also, I'm doing different process also. I'm not able to do. Krishna, what do I do? And this is the first time Krishna tells in the second, in this Bhagavad Gita that fix your mind upon me. Krishna does not say that you go and do anything, whatever you want. You go and do just meditate on some zero or light or something. Tani sarvani sanyama yukta asita matpara. Yukta means add yourself or fix your mind. Matpara, on me. Vashehi yasyendriyani tasya pragya pratishtita. So a person who fixes his mind upon me only can control the senses. And that person is called the sthita pragya. Pragya pratishtita. His man's intelligence is pratishtita, fixed on me. And then he can control his senses very nicely. So Krishna gives this ultimate, Tani Sarvani. And then he says in the, not only control the senses, but also control the mind and focus on Krishna. Matparaha. Matparaha means focus on me. That indeed is the cause of control of the senses, because Krishna is the control. One of the name of the Krishna is Rishikesha. Rishikesha means one who is the controller of the senses. So he is the controller of all the senses. Our senses also controlled by the Lord. See, our senses also, each and every part of the body has a demigod who is operating that particular part of the body. Our eyes is controlled by a demigod named Nimi. If the Nimi Maharaj allows us to blink the eyes only, we can blink. Our food is digested by fire, Agni. If the Agni is not good in our body, then we will not be, we will have a very poor digestive system. So, like that, you read the Bhagavatam, each and every part, even the genital, even the hand, even the leg, even the ear, even the lip, even the tongue, all are controlled by different demigod. That is the reason if your health is sometimes not good, if you go to a right astrologer, he will say, this is not good in you, you control. So what happens? This demigod, if we have offended sometime, then that demigod will be upset with us and that part of the body will not function properly. It's all very scientifically described in the Bhagavatam. So we have offended them. We have done something wrong and that demigod is upset. So now he is not allowed to let my particular body function properly because he is upset. So that is the reason when you go to astrologer, he will say, you do this puja, you do this puja for this, you please them. Doing puja means what? Ultimately, you offer them something, you please them. Ask for forgiveness. And then, so there are two ways. You go to astrologer, and nowadays it's getting a good astrologer, which is giving you a proper guidance is very, very rare. So what we do, we try to pray and ask for forgiveness. Knowingly and unknowingly, if I have done anything wrong, please forgive me. Even if we ask forgiveness, also we are given forgiveness by them. And then things become better.
Demigods? Should we worship demigods or not?
No. The demigod in the sense that when we worship Krishna, ask for forgiveness. Yeah. Krishna is the controller of all the demigod, and he
one can ask for forgiveness from Krishna, not from any demigods.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we ask. That's when Krishna says, "You just fix your mind upon me." If you ask, then all the demigods are under the control of the Lord, and we will be forgiven for our act, and it will become better. So this is how things work. Then now Krishna says, now this is the section start. How does the fall down happen? Even a person who is doing it, not fixing his mind upon the Lord. What is the reason? Contemplating the object of the senses. Contemplating means thinking about it again. We develop. We have not actually done it anything. Just say a boy is only thinking about the girl. He is not yet met. He has not touched her. He has not done anything, a boy or a girl, whoever. And then they just saw somewhere and meditating. Oh, that. And you develop that attachment. I want to have anything. Girl, I'm saying one thing, anything about that. It is not about a person. It is about thing also. We develop the attachment. And then the attachment gives us the lust. Lust means excessive desire to have anything. And if it is not fulfilled, if you don't achieve it, then become delusion. Delusion means forget. We get illusion means you can't see right. So that time, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. Bewilderment of memory means you forget that what you are doing. Who is the person? We forget. Sometimes it happens. Now, when we are angry, we forget that I'm talking to my father or I'm talking to my son. We forget all those things. And we tell our children also, you forget that I'm your mother. You forget that I'm your father. At anger, you forget everything because you're delusion, because you can't see right. Memory is lost. And then intelligence is, when the memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. Intelligence is the one thing which discriminate between right and wrong. So if intelligence is lost, we cannot discriminate between the right and wrong. And we do fall down into the material pool. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. So this is a very now 8th stage of falling down of any person. And we all fall down in this trap sometime or other or every day for something or other. because contemplating to object is there. Contemplating the object is there, whether it's a office work, whether it is my promotion, whether it is my salary increase, whether it is my children. I want my children to attend 100%. I'm contemplating that this time result will come, he should have all. He did not get. Now I get angry. When I get angry, what happens? I started tuck, 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 giving left and right. Not understanding that what has happened, why has happened, he has done so much effort, at least let me do. We forget everything. So like this is for anything, except contemplating the object to fall down. We forget right and wrong and do our intelligence is lost and we fall down and do the wrong thing. So this is the stage. Contemplating the senja, attachment, lust, anger, delusion, bewilderment of memory, loss of intelligence, and fall down. So be beware of damaging thought as it gets converted into cruel plans and ends up in regrettable action. So what Krishna says, इसीलिए जब दिमाग में कुछ विचार आता है जो फेवरेबल नहीं है, उसी समय उसको कंट्रोल करो. Otherwise, it will damage you. Mind is a storehouse of unlimited desires. Whatever we see, whatever we do, everything is being stored in the mind. Deleting is not happening. So we have to delete things also, which is not required by the process of yoga. Freeing the space. And otherwise, that it won't only be in the mind. It will change into the cruel plan and regrettable action. So if we are surrounded by the people with these kind of thought, we will also develop these things. And if we are surrounded by the people, those who are very sattvic, those who are very spiritual, then our thought also will be more controlled. And the sense enjoyment, how he does the sense enjoyment, how he enjoys the senses. He tries to fix his mind on the Lord and receive everything as a mercy of prasadam adhigacchati ragadvesha vimuktesa vishayan indriyascharan atmaivashya vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through the regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. It is not that when we attain that, then we attain the complete mercy of the Lord. When we are free from all this attachment. And how do? We do through the regulative principles. Everywhere there is some regulation required. We are a human being. We have to live in a regulated life. We cannot be unregulated. What can we do unregulated? Can we eat anytime? When can we sleep anytime? Can we do whatever I like? No, everywhere there is a regulation. We have to be living a good life is a regulated life. And nowadays, actually, people are following. People are going back to the Ayurvedas and Vedas and trying to follow the regulation in their life. Sleep on time, get up on time, read nicely, control mind, do some meditation, control yourself, because so much distraction is there in the material world. Like crazy. And people are having so many distress in their, just not physically, even mentally. The solution is only this. If we have a regulated life, if we work in it is not said that you don't work in a proper understanding. Do it as a duty. Do be detached. Do for a cause, for a purpose, but not for the result all the time. Fix your mind upon the Lord. Connect ourselves to Him. Then we can have by doing this, he can get the complete mercy of the Lord. Prasadam adhigacchati. When we become free, then Krishna is pleased. Very good. And what happened? Once you receive the prasadam, Krishna is pleased. Whatever. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rashopya jayate prasanna chetaso hishu buddhi parevasthita. This is a very wonderful shloka connected to this. Once you, last shloka where you said, once you are having free from attachment and aversion to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom, can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So how do we get the mercy? By practicing this. And once we receive the mercy, what will happen? Why do we need the mercy of the Lord? I'm doing everything right. I don't need mercy. But we do need the mercy. What will happen? Prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rasopya jayate. By this, we can be no longer, there will be no dukkha in our life. Dukkha, there will be prasade sarva dukkhana hani rasopajayata. There will be no dukkha, there will be no any loss in destruction just by doing this. Prasanna chetata hi ashu. That person will be always happy. Prasanna chetasa. He will be very, very happy. Buddhi parivatastite. His intelligence will be perfectly situated. What happens if this intelligence is not situated? We saw in the previous verse, we will lose everything. If the intelligence is properly situated, we can become happy. How to make the intelligence properly situated? Prasade sarva dukkhana. By receiving the mercy of the Supreme Lord. When do we receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord? We don't only receive the mercy of Supreme Lord by giving him 10 rupees or going and offering one coconut. That is, of course, we get some mercy by doing that also. But the Lord is more pleased when we follow the instruction of the Lord. Then we all want to become happy in the life, right? Everybody, you will see the Bhagavad Gita, how it gives the principle to become happy. We are trying so many ways to become happy. Since childhood till now, we are just trying only to be happy. Now we have to follow the principle of Bhagavad Gita and then see that can we become happy by practicing this? At least try. Once in a lifetime, try. If does not become happy, leave it. There is no binding. There is no binding from Krishna. But at least Krishna has given us the knowledge to apply once in a lifetime. So for one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material life exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. Once the intelligence is well established, we will not have any kind of difficulty, because everything, see, mind has a desire. That will again, this kind of shloka will come in 3rd chapter also. How the mind is controlled with the intelligence. Mind is the reservoir of thought. Mind has unlimited desire. That is why it is always talked about controlling the mind, not controlling the intelligence. Because mind is the storehouse of all the desire. But the intelligence is above the mind to discriminate whether it is good for you or not. So most of the time, mind overpowers the intelligence. But a well-situated person who is established in Krishna consciousness, who is practicing the Bhakti Yoga, who is connected to the Supreme Lord, his intelligence is so well situated that he will control the mind. No, this is not good for you. No, you cannot do this. He will discriminate between the right and wrong. Other person cannot discriminate between right and wrong. This is one of the favorite shloka of mine. This is to be learned actually. Please note this shloka, chapter 2, text 66, and try to memorize this shloka. This is a task I am giving, homework. So many classes we are done, we have not given any homework. So this is a homework for you all. Try to learn this shloka. If you want, I will post the audio of this shloka in the group. Let us just post the audio of the shloka in the group. Okay? So try to hear the whole with this shloka and translation and memorize. I will see how many of you can repeat this shloka next class. This is very, very nice shloka, for very like practical shloka for us. Nasti buddhira yuktasya न चायुक्तस्य भावना न च भावयतः शान्तिर् अशान्तस्य कुतो सुखम् नास्ति बुद्धिर् अयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न च भावयतः शान्तिर् अशान्तस्य कुतो सुखम्. So here says nasti buddhir ayuktasya. Yuktasya means now till now we were talking about yuktasya. Yuktasya. Try to unite with the Supreme. Try to unite with the Supreme. Then only you can become happy. Now here Krishna says now nasti buddhir ayuktasya. The persons whose intelligence is not connected to me. Ayuktasya. Not connected with me. Mind is not intelligence and mind is not fixed with me, not connected with me. What will happen to that person? Nacha bhavayatah shantar. That person will never attain peace. They'll never attain peace. Ashantasya kuto sukham. So happiness before the peace should be there. If there is no peace, we can never be happy. Happiness is the result of the peaceful mind. If the mind is not peaceful, even though I have everything, will not be happy. If something happens, the same thing will not taste me good. We are eating something very nice, delicious food offered to the Supreme Lord, and we are enjoying the food, and suddenly some news comes that, oh, maybe your friend has fell down and he met with a car accident. Immediately you leave that food because now that food is not giving you any happiness. Same thing. Because the mind is not at peace. Immediately our happiness. So it is directly related. If the mind is not at peace, we cannot enjoy anything. And mind can never be on peace if it is ayuktasya. This is a statement given, and there's something called statement. This is a statement by Krishna. Nasti buddhira yuktasya. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. When your mind is not connected with Supreme, can neither have transcendental intelligence nor peace. And if there is no peace, then how can you be happy? Pichhle shloka mein Krishna taught that if you become prasadam adhigacchati, if you practice detachment and if you follow things, then you will get the mercy of the Lord. And you get the mercy of prasades dukkha sarva. What is that shloka? Prasades sarva dukkhana. All the miseries will be taken away by the mercy of the Lord. When you are connected to Him. But if you are not connected to Him, that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches. When the mind is not connected to the teachings of the Supreme Lord, connected to Him means generally the teachings of the Lord. Nacha yuktasya bhavana. Then we cannot have peace in the life. That is the reason you see that a lot of multimillionaire people, they go to a sadhu. Everybody has a guru, and they go to the guru and they bow down to their feet and then ask how you are so happy. I have all the worth, billions and trillions of money, but I am not happy. All this big shot, they go to the a person who has nothing. A sadhu has nothing. He has given up everything. And people come and fall on his feet, please, mujhe bhi thoda kripa kariye. Because he has attained that happiness. Because he is completely connected. I'm again always talking, when I talk about the sadhu, please don't misunderstand about anybody wearing an orange cloth. We will read the quality of the sadhu. Maybe the next class I'll teach you. Yesterday from the Bhagavad Gita will also teach. What is who is the sadhu? The real sadhu we are talking, not the bogus sadhu. Real sadhu is detached from everything. He has given up everything and he is completely satisfied and happy in every condition of life. Very hard to get to see those people, but still there are some. Not many, but there are. Because they are completely in connection. They are completely in following. And that is why they are happy. We have everything in the life also, we are not happy. Little bit here and there goes and we completely get shattered. Because we are not yukta, ayukta, we are ayukta. We are like separated. So this is a very, very important peace formula actually. Happiness formula from Bhagavad Gita. First happiness, you will get in every chapter happiness formula in Bhagavad Gita and really make you happy. I can guarantee you, if you follow the principle of Bhagavad Gita, you will be really, really happy in your life. There is no way that we cannot be happy by following the principle of Bhagavad Gita. Everybody has difficulties in the life. Even though those who are following also have difficulty in the life. It is not that those who are following Bhagavad Gita, they will not have any difficulty now. They will also be having difficulties in the life, but they will not be so disturbed. That will segregate them. So this is one who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Ashantasya kuto sukham. Krishna says, Ashantasya kuto sukham. If your mind is not at peace, then you can never be happy. So first put your mind on peace. So how can we connect to the Supreme? By different means, by reading, by chanting, by doing some meditation. Meditation is not the process of the Kali Yuga actually. Kali Yuga process is Hare Naam, Hare Naam, Hare Naam, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastev, Kalau Nastev, Kalau Nastev, Gatirannitha. But by doing our work also, we have to connect to the Supreme. By eating, we have to connect to the Supreme. As we learn what today we learn, all our senses should be connected to the Supreme. Through our tongue, to our ears, to our eyes, to our everything, all the senses, we have to connect to the Supreme. That is the perfection. Then next sloka. Indriyanam hi charatam yanamano anudhivyate tadyasya harati prajanam vayu navam ivam bhasi. The Krishna says again here, as strong winds sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away man's intelligence. When the wind is very strong, it is so difficult to control the boat. We all have felt when you are sometime boating and suddenly the boatman is finding it so difficult, and we all are so scared that we may fall down into the water. Because wind is uncontrollable. So it's very difficult to control. But if it's a boatman is very strong, he can control. Or if he's not very strong, then we may fall down in the water because of the wind. So similarly, our senses are compared to like a strong wind. So even one sense, we have 5 senses: ear, nose, eyes, tongue, and genital. 5 senses are there. Even one is very forceful. Also, it can take away our mind, even we are trying to control. We will not even realize it. Again and again, you see how important it is to control. Krishna is giving various examples. Has it not been very important? Why will Krishna give so much emphasis on it? Nowadays, there is a trend going on. Do whatever you like. Do whatever you like. Just do it. No need to have all this. Just do it. Scripture does not teach us. Scripture says, be selective in seeing, be selective in hearing, be selective in talking, be selective in doing even physical relation. Does not give us the just do it. Just do it is the mentality of the animal. They don't like have any place or any situation. They can do it whatever and whenever they want, even though they have some regulation in their life also. But we have no regulations. And Krishna, that's the reason Krishna is emphasizing so much. Be regulated, because it's going to be a danger for you. It is going to be really dangerous. You will not even realize you will fall down into the water. Acha, when we are sitting on the boat and there's a strong wind going on and the boat is like just like very, very, what you call uncontrolled, and it is just going up and down. That is the time what the boatman says, everybody sit quietly. And then you start jumping. No, 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 I will do all this. What will happen? There are more chances that it will just sink. What will the boatman say? No, no, everybody sit quietly. I will just try to help, but you all don't just sit on your place. Be controlled. No, 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 I'll just dance. I'll play the music and dance. Do whatever there is, 5% chance of saving also will not be there. That is what we are doing. We have five senses. We are not trying to control the senses. Rather, we're trying to enjoy the senses. What is going to happen with us? We are going to fall down only. And if I fall down, whose loss is there? I will lose myself only. Nobody's loss. It is my loss. That's what Krishna says. As a strong wind sweep away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away mind's intelligence. Even one of the senses. Do we have the picture of that? There's very nice, actually. There's a nice shloka. Kita, Patanga, elephant. They all have one sense very strong. Like the if you see sometime the moth in the rainy season, it is so attracted by the light. It is so attracted by the light, and it goes near the light, and with the heat of light, it dies. One sense, seeing, and it cannot control. The bhavara, try to smell, try to take the juice from the flower, and it goes and just try to take the juice, and in the night the flower gets closed, and it is so intoxicated with that it cannot come out. Even though it is so strong that it can tear the flower. Flower petal is how soft, but because it is so intoxicated that it cannot even tear the petal of the flower because it's so intoxicated with that. And it loses the life. Morning when the flower opens, it dies. Deer, smell. It will be elephant, touch. Elephant is such a mighty elephant, like so much big, strong animal. It's not easy to control. But as a normal man, what do they do? Elephant is very much attracted to the touch, a female. So they will make a big ditch and put a lot of leaves. It looks like a place. It will not look like a ditch. And they will keep a female elephant over there. And elephant will be so attracted by a female that he will not see anything. He'll go and just fall into the ditch. And that is how even a small man can control elephant. So even one senses, they cannot control. They become so obsessed that becomes the cause of their death. So we have all 5 senses. And all are very, very strong. So that is the reason it is asked us to have a regulation. Don't control. It is not that don't do anything. Do in a regulated manner. Give good things. Give good things to it. Because whatever goes in will come out. It is not that we are closing the eyes. No, I will not see anything in the world. No, I will see, but I'll see nice things. It's not that I will not use my eyes for reading. I'll read the nice thing. I will not hear. No, I'll hear, but I will hear good. So like that, it is not that we have to, like a nigraha, we have to regulate it. That's what Krishna says. Tasmad. Now again a statement from Krishna, where tasmad means therefore. When you write an essay, at the end what you do? Therefore, it is said like this. You give all the principle in the beginning and the end with therefore, it is like this. Conclusion. So this chapter is concluded by Krishna saying, Tasma vyasya mahabaho nigrihitani sarvasha indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratishtita. Krishna says, therefore, O mighty arm, Mahabaho. Mahabaho means very, very like mighty arm. One whose senses are restrained from their object is certainly of steady intelligence. Statement. Therefore, O mighty arm, one whose senses are restrained from their object, who can control, who can regulate them, is certainly of steady intelligence. Our intelligence is steady, only we can become happy. So all these senses are there. How to regulate them? By fixing matparaha, by uniting with the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, scripture, Vedas, Puranas. When we follow those things, teaching principles from there, then we can regulate them. Then now Krishna talks about the day and night. This is again a very important flow. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato muneh. So now, however is the, what, ya nisha sarva, nisha means night. Tasyam jagrati sam. Whatever is the night for the normal man, it's a day for the self-realized person. So what does it mean? Night and day is also like a knowledge and ignorance. Night and day is also means night and day. So a devotee, when what is night for all being is the time of awakening for self-control. Generally what happens is a devotee gets up early morning at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. He does his meditation, chanting the round and doing his work. And people, many a time you see them sleeping only at 2 o'clock. Weekend means sleeping at 2 only. Acha, whole week we don't have time for practicing Krishna consciousness. Because my work schedule is very busy. At least weekend we should make a plan. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, I'll get up early. Saturday, Sunday, I will practice it. Saturday, Sunday. But the Saturday, Sunday we have kept for enjoyment. And I know that enjoyment is actually not enjoyment also. Brings a lot of distress. But we think that that is enjoyment. At least Saturday, Sunday, we should make an effort that, okay, Saturday, Sunday, I get up. Saturday, Sunday, I'll do all these things. I'll make my schedule for Saturday, Sunday, practicing nicely. So that is how it is different. For all the being is night for the introspective stages. Similarly, what a self-realized person, if you start practicing all this, what the people will say, pagal ho gaya hai kya? Abhi koi umar hai ye sab karne ki? At this age, you are practicing all these things. Abhi to, you have to enjoy. This is a time for enjoyment. What you are wasting your life with? So, normal people will tell mad to the person who is, we feel very sad actually. All the young people, those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, get this remark only. And it's very unfortunate that the people don't recognize, oh my God, such a young stage you are doing, it is so nice. There is no encouragement into the society for practicing it. Rather, people will make fun of them. Oh, what is this? You have become Mataji. You are doing like this. Now you will do like this. People will just discourage them. So difficult. Nobody will come and praise. Wow, this is so nice. You have taken this at such a young stage. You are doing it. So who will praise them? Those who know the value of it. And a person who is practicing, when he will see others doing this, he will say, oh my God, why this person is wasting his life? Why is doing all this act? He has time. He should rather read Bhagavad Gita. He should rather read this. So both of them see each other like a madman. The person practicing will think that, oh, everybody should do this. And person who is enjoying it thinks also, okay, everybody should do this only. Why somebody is doing something else? But unfortunately or fortunately, we are not following people, we are following Krishna. So we should be very strong that I am doing what Krishna is telling me to do. I am not controlled by my mind. I am controlled by the intelligence given by the Lord. So that is the strength of a devotee. That is the strength of a person who is practicing. And he is happy by doing that. So this is the difference. Sthita Prajna has two types of intelligence, fixed on soul, that makes him experience bliss, that he is awake. This is night for materialists who cannot see the things perceived by the intelligence fixed on soul, because they cannot see it, because they have not realized it. They think that material happiness is only happiness. And that is why they are always sad, because that happiness is not happiness. That is very temporary. Fixed on sense object, that makes him experience happiness, lamentation, and bewilderment. That is, he is awake. That is the night for the Sthita Prajna, as he is disinterested in the material objects. So now we will conclude this chapter by a few more shlokas. Apunyamana machala pratishtham samudrapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantam apnoti na kama kami. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desire that enters like river into ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such senses, thus desire, sorry. So, Krishna, what again Krishna gives the conclusion. Now Krishna is giving the conclusion. A person who is not disturbed, as what happens when the different rivers goes into the and merges with the ocean. Ocean is not getting disturbed by different small river coming and merging into the ocean. Ocean water will not increase or decrease by merging of the river. It will be very steady. So similarly, a person who is not disturbed by incessant flow of desire that enters like a river into ocean, which is ever being filled out but is always still, can alone achieve peace. When we are not, Krishna says, when you are not disturbed by incessant flow of desire, you can alone, that person who is not disturbed can alone achieve peace. Not a man who strives to satisfy such desire. So there are two types of people. There is two principles nowadays. As I said, do whatever you want. Satisfy your desire. Don't try to control them. Give them what they want. Whatever they want, you give them. That is one principle. Other than control them. Give them right. It's not that don't give them. Give them right. What is right, give them. Not that what they want. This is how these things happen to the children also. Give everything to the children. Give them what is good for them. Give them right thing. Right thing is our association, our love and care is the right thing. Because we are not able to give that, give them whatever they want. And result is what is happening. Children are completely addicted to the electronics. Completely addicted. The small age, they are wearing the goggles, they are going and they are having access to everything in the world. At the young age, they are seeing whether to be seen or not. Because when you have access to everything, how is the control? And we are experiencing this in our life. Small children have all the, access to everything. Because we are giving them everything. Because we are not giving them enough time. What is required, what is right for them. So it says, give them right thing, not that what they desire we should give them. So the same thing with their senses also. Give them what is right, what is required, what is good. Be discriminative. Use our intelligence to discriminate between right and wrong. So it says that, Then it says, Vihaya kamanya sarvam pushpumash charanti nispraha nirmamo nirahankara sashanti madigachati. A person who has given up all desire for sense gratification, who lives free from desire, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he only can attain real peace. So again, Krishna is concluding what he has taught in the whole chapter. Now he's writing everything as a concluding, as a point. A person who has given up the desire for sense gratification, who lives free from those desires, given up the proprietorship that I am the enjoyer, and he is devoid of false ego, can only attain peace, real peace. So we have to develop this quality to attain the real peace. Then it is said that Esha Brahmi Sthita Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati Sthitam Sthatasyam Antakalepi Brahma Nirvana Vrakshati. That is the way of spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at our hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. Now Krishna concludes, this is the last shloka of here, in this way of the spiritual and godly life. After it, this is the way of spiritual and godly life. And once you attain that, your mind are controlled, the senses are controlled, mind is fixed, not disturbed by other things. Then man is not bewildered. And if one is in thus situated, even at the hour of death, and if this mind state, if when you leave the body, one can enter into the kingdom of God. The actual life begins after the completion of material life. We think that the material life is the only life. And what material life teaches us only the sense enjoyment, and we do everything to become happy. And we think that the enjoyment through the senses is the only way to give us happiness. And we are repeatedly trying to do that, and we are repeatedly failing to be attaining that happiness. Like inside, it is not happy. Real peace is not there. So this is Krishna says, if you practice this, then this is what you call is nirvana. A person has attained nirvana. What is the nirvana means? Nirvana means detached from everything, free from all the desires, unnecessarily desires. So not only after leaving the body we will attain the kingdom of God, even in this life we will attain that ultimate peace and happiness. So this is how Krishna concludes the second chapter. Now I would ask if you have any question, comment. Did you all understand this all?
Yes, Mataji. Very well. Very nicely explained, word by word.
Any doubt?
Hare Krishna.
Any doubt?
No doubt.
Very
Mataji.
difficult to
Everything
become a Sthita Prajna.
Practice makes a man perfect.
You're right, Mataji, but still.
Yeah. Yes. Fail and do it again. Fail and do it again. What happens when the child starts walking? He falls. How many times he falls? But every
Many
time
times.
when he falls, again the mother and father will, oh, it's okay, and again get up, again walk, again, and then one day he'll start walking. So we have to give support to that is the reason it is very important that we give support to the people, those who are trying to practice it. That is why this is a community living where we are giving support. We're trying to take the support, take a help and help others also. Because outside people are not going to help. As I said, nobody has encouraged ever till now. If you start practicing this and you go and tell somebody that I have started, the first reaction will be, what? People will not appreciate it. So there is no expectation of getting support from them. Even at least if they don't discourage you, is good for us. So we
have 3-4 patients.
Yeah.
I have 3-4 patients. They come to me and they are in ISKCON and this. They get up very early in the morning, 3-4 o'clock. But what they do they sleep again. But I know because they say we get up early in the morning and then they go to sleep again after doing the Mangla Aarti, Puja and all. So I said, you can afford to sleep, but there are people, they cannot afford to sleep after that. So this is
No,
what I
see,
wanted
what
to
is
share.
what is what? No, no, it is not that sleeping means they sleep for 2 hours. They
Mhm.
they all generally those who are working. What they do,
Yeah.
even for my husband also does the same thing. If he gets up at 3 o'clock, he'll finish all his chanting everything by
Mm.
6:30. Then he will have half an hour as power nap and then get up and fresh and go to the office, get ready.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
power nap gives you the like because you have to work now whole day. Now you go at 8
Yeah.
o'clock and come back at 8 o'clock in the night. So your
Yeah.
body also need to have some like system should be there. And one thing is that if you sleep early, you require less sleep. When you
Yeah.
sleep late, you require more sleep. So, but that
Yeah.
half an hour, 45 minutes, that power nap you get, then that rejuvenates your energy level, and then you go to work. So, that half an hour, 45 minutes is good enough.
Because that person life was slightly, because the children were going to the school, wife used to sleep for 2.5 hours. They came to me, so their life was real in a jeopardy. So I said, then you go to sleep early so
Yeah.
you can get up early.
Yeah.
because
See,
because
you cannot
ma'am,
run
most
away from the
difficult thing is to
yeah.
unlearn whatever
Right.
you have learned so far. It is so difficult to unlearn with your mind.
No, because see, we have to do our duty also. If our children has to go to school, then we need
Yeah.
to get them ready. We have to make tiffin for them.
Yes. Yes.
So we need to do all those things. So then you sleep after they go.
And they are young patients. I mean, they are in their 30s, 32. They have small kids.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Sometimes we become in even in bhakti we become over this thing aspire ki no I should do everything this way, but yes we have to be practical also that we whatever our given duty is there that also has to go properly. Our
Yeah,
health
yeah,
also should be good. We cannot avoid our health also by every day sleeping only 3 hours. Then we are not in that stage and then the health issues will come. So all those things also we should take care.
yeah. That's important. I think practicing and
Yeah.
mind, that is important. Intelligence and mind. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So with the long this thing, we are trying to complete second chapter. So we are good to start chapter 3 tomorrow. And chapter 3 is Karma Yoga. And that's a very, very awaited chapter for everyone because Bhagavad Gita is known as a Karma Yoga. So we will start the third, fourth, fifth. Actually, 3 chapters Krishna will talk about the karma, nishkam karma, and result of nishkam karma and all those things. So, are you all ready for chapter 3 now?
Yes, Mother.
Yeah. So we'll start
Yes.
tomorrow.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Yeah, I have one question. When Lord Krishna had said such a nice things in second chapter only, why it was required to go till 18th chapter for Arjuna? It should
Abhi
have
Arjuna,
concluded. Bhagavad Gita should have concluded in second chapter only.
yeah, Arjuna was not having, see, our mind is so much, na, Krishna, Abhi Arjuna, the third chapter actually will start the question of Arjuna. Okay, Arjuna, what he will ask you know that? Okay, now you talked about control your mind, control your senses. Again, he will, then why you are engaging? I am ready to control my mind. Why you are engaging me in ghastly war? You are trying to control the mind. You are telling me to, okay, control your senses, control your mind. Arjuna thought that controlling the mind means inaction. Now,
Baba.
I am already ready for it. I am already saying that I don't want fight. I'm already saying that I don't want kingdom. You are encouraging me to fight. Then you are telling me to control the mind. So now I'm confused whether I should fight or I should give up. This is the question of the Arjuna. You understanding?
Yes.
First Krishna said, you get up and fight. Then he says, you control your mind. Then Arjuna is confused now. I was already controlling the mind. You encourage me to fight. Now again, you're telling me to control the mind. What is this? You tell me one thing what I should do. Whatever is good for me. So Arjuna confusion will still continue with these things. So now Krishna will answer in the 3rd chapter how to do the duty, how to perform. Again, he will repeat the 3rd chapter of Karma Yoga. You cannot give up, and he will give various examples how you cannot give the karma. Arjuna detachment means he thought that inaction.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. That is the reason this chapter is so long.
Yes.
72 verses
Yeah.
are there.
Yes. So he will say,
nicely explained by Lord Krishna. This is
why you want to engage me in ghasli war? I am already not doing it. Whatever all you are saying, I am already practicing it.
Yeah.
Now you are telling me to go and fight also.
Yes, Mataji.
Now the best part will come. Even the fighting become the devotional service if you do it the right purpose. That is what we need to learn. No action is bad. If what consciousness you are doing the action is important. That is
Yes,
what
true,
we
Mataji.
teach.
Yes, true. Yes. That now we have to move further to from Karma Yoga onwards.
Yes.
To understand what difficulty was Arjuna having to understand this Bhagavad Gita.
Our mind is so dumb, we don't get even questions. Arjuna had nice question already asked for us.
Yes.
So we have to just listen to the question of Arjuna and see that what Krishna is giving the answer.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yes. Because generally people say, na, why should I do this? When I'm okay, when we were in the Middle East and we were doing, so people used to tell, okay, when you're talking about connecting to Supreme Lord and all, why you have to live in Middle East? Why you are earning money there? Then you give up everything and live in somewhere go in and live in some secluded place in a small town house. We were also thinking, yeah, I'm practicing yoga means I have to give up everything. But that is not his Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is whatever you have, big or small, use everything in the Krishna service. That is it. So other people used to comment this. Why you have big car? Why you have big house? You need to be detached now. Why you have to have all those things? People think detachment means giving away everything. Krishna says you should not be detached from the action. You should be detached with the reaction. So actually, we will learn the principles from Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Dandavat pranams.
Okay, so see you all again tomorrow, same time. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all. You all are wonderful devotees who are eager to hear about Bhagavad Gita. So thank you all for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you, Mataji.
Fine Mataji, how are you?
Good, good, good.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा, कैसे हैं?
ठीक है माता जी।
अच्छा,
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है माता जी। आप आज मतलब लास्ट वाले में नहीं था, थोड़ा ऑफिस में लेट हो गया था। जी
चलिए,
बहुत अच्छा लगता है माता जी, मन को भी बहुत शांति मिलती है सुन के। थोड़ा सा टाइम बैठते हैं तो थॉट्स भी चेंज होती हैं।
करेक्ट, पहले इधर चेंज होएगा, फिर एक्शन भी चेंज होएगा।
धीरे धीरे
जरूर आते रहिए। थैंक यू, आप लोग आते हो, मुझे भी मोटिवेशन होता है आप लोग के साथ पढ़ने का, कुछ सुनने का।
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा लगता है, अभी समझ में आ रहा है थोड़ा थोड़ा।